Good morning, Apollo students. We're here with another story from the Cowskin Creek Clydesdale Farm. This one is called Winter Shoes for Shadow Horse. It's written by Linda Oatman High and illustrated by Ted Lewin. The illustrations in this book are absolutely gorgeous. I hope you enjoy the story. The nighttime glow of Papa's forge and the ringing rhythm of his hammer pull me through the dark and into the blacksmith shop. I stand by the door, soaking up the warmth and smelling the red-hot iron. Papa works and whistles and watches the flame as I watch him, and wonder when it will be my turn to learn how to shoe a horse. Finally, Papa turns and looks at me. "Winter shoes," he says, "snowstorm in the air." I shiver and move closer to the fire, handing Papa his box of tools. "Ice nails," Papa says, plucking a sharp-pointed nail from the pile, so the horses don't slip on the snow. I nod, and Papa goes to the window. "Here comes Shadow Horse," he says. The door blasts open with a whiff of cold air, and Mr. Spencer leads Shadow Horse into the room. Shadow Horse stomps and snorts and whinnies, his brown eyes flashing with fear. "Shadow Horse," I whisper, stroking his silky face and slipping him some brown sugar from Papa's treat box. Shadow Horse snuffles the sugar, swishing his tail, and Papa pats his back. "Left foot first," Papa says, leaning one hand on Shadow Horse's shoulder, gently pressing the horse toward the right. Shadow Horse lifts his left foot, and Papa pulls pinchers from his pocket. Slowly, Papa pries the old shoe from Shadow Horse's hoof. "Good horse," Papa whispers, dabbing the hoof with melted pork fat salve. He grabs his rasp and nippers and trims Shadow Horse's hoof, whistling all the while. I fetch a shoe and some ice nails. "Winter shoes for Shadow Horse," I say. Tapping the nails with steady strokes, Papa hammers on the horseshoe. "A nip, a rasp, a clinch," he says, teaching me. "One shoe on, 3 to go." Two shoes later, Papa looks at me. "Your turn," he says, and I go cold as snow. I take the tools and apron, shaking, hoping to please Papa. "What if he kicks me?" I ask. "He won't," says Papa. "What if I hurt him?" I ask. "You won't," Papa says and smiles. I take a deep breath, and then I work. I pry and salve and whisper and tap and nip and rasp and clinch, Papa's hand on my shoulder. Shadow Horse's back ripples and I flinch, scared. "Go on," Papa whispers, his hand heavy and strong. Finally, it's finished. Shadow Horse has winter shoes. I stand glad the job is over, and Papa presses the old shoe into my hand. "A first horseshoe," he says. "It is to be saved for always." I hold the horseshoe tight. We all go through the doorway and into the night. Leading Shadow Horse in a slow circle, Papa Papa watches his gait and nods. He's good for the winter, he calls out. Mr. Spencer climbs onto Shadow Horse's back as Papa and I watch from the doorway. Shadow Horse canters away, winter shoes pounding the ground. My heart hammering with the sound, I lift the horseshoe high and wave goodbye. Papa and I listen as Shadow Horse and his winter shoes melt away into blackness. Snow is in the air, Papa says. More horses will need winter shoes. And then we turn and walk together, back into the blacksmith shop. The end. Hey students, I know that you're hearing some noise behind me today, and we have a very special visitor at the farm. We have a farrier, a person who shoes horses. Mr. Keith, the stable manager, is helping with the horses, and Joe is cleaning and clinching on hoofs and making sure they're in great shape. So let's take a look. Follow us. And thanks, Robbie, for videoing. Mr. Joe, can you tell the kids what you're doing as you work?
Well, trimming off the excess hooves the same way we trim our finger and toenails. And round the edges to keep them from chipping and breaking off.
I really want you guys to see a hoof when he lifts it, so you can see how big the Clydesdale hoof is.
Oh. There it is.
Wow. That is a big foot.
This V right in here is a frog. These are the bars that I'm taking out right now.
Mr. Joe is working on a horse named Diamond. In a minute, we'll show you why she's named Diamond. Students, there you go. Look at that. Just like we trim and file our nails. Let's go to the front and show them why Diamond is named. Good morning, Diamond.
Oh.
Can you guys see why she's named Diamond? Look at her nose. Have a nice day, Apollo students.